Hi y'all, this is Angel Santana here. Still getting the hang of this tripod. I think this is as high as it goes, but I don't need it so tall. Alright, I'm gonna do a haul here. Just say the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. I'll do oh, there we go, that's better. I'm gonna do a haul, a video about my Marvel Legends action figures collection. So here we have, this arrived a couple days ago, yesterday or the day before yesterday. This is Nightcrawler with the Wendigo Build-A-Figure arm. So please bear with me here. He's one of my all-time favorites. In the back, it's got great packaging. As you can see, he's got him doing his teleporting. Here we have a it says with sticky hands, a sharp tail, and piercing yellow eyes. Also his fang-like teeth, which it doesn't mention. The troublemaking mutant Nightcrawler scales walls and teleports from place to place. Yeah, just making sure we're recording here. Yeah, I'm outside. It's might start to. I hope it doesn't start to rain again here in northern Illinois, northwestern Illinois. And then it even has it in French, in German, and in Spanish, which I love. In Spanish and Portuguese, it says, con sus manos pegajosas, cola filosa y penetrantes ojos amarillos, y su piel, su pelaje azul, and his blue fur, el alborotador mutante Nightcrawler o nocturno trepa paredes y se teleporta de un lugar a otro. And here it's got the complete Build-A-Figure Wendigo. And in order to assemble him, you'd need the 6 figures, 6 action figures: Wolverine, Cannonball, Marvel's Boom Boom, Marvel's Guardian from the Canadian superhero team Alpha Flight, which I have that one, and now I have Nightcrawler too. So in order to, and then finally Nightcrawler and Mr. Sinister. In order to complete the set, I'd need the other 4. To the total of 6 of these Marvel Legends action figures to with their individual Build-A-Figure or BAF Wendigo parts to assemble Wendigo. Great villain, monster villain from the pages of the Uncanny X-Men and Alpha Flight. So let's open him up. Just so you know, I already opened him. I already opened this box. So this is, it wasn't, it was a little more organized looking, but I put him back the best I could, just to give you an idea. Ordered him off of Amazon. Always, Amazon does a great job, except for just one time. I had a damaged action figure and I had to send him back and get a refund. But aside from that, 99.9% of the times, Amazon does a great job. And I think that time it was a defect from Marvel Legends. So this is what he comes with. I'm gonna tilt this down now from now on so you can see better. So there he comes. He, like I said, he was fitting more in there better before. I've already taken him out and put him back inside the box, and so here it comes with 2 faces. He originally had this face was attached to his head, but I switched them out. So he's got what I call his calm, kind of pensive face, peaceful face. There he's got like this really like feral, wild, savage-looking face with dark around his eyes. I'm not sure what that's from. And then he's got his regular face with the fangs showing. And he comes with a sword. It comes with 1, 2, 3, 4 accessories. An open hand, 2 alternate heads, a sword, and there we go. And I even consider his tail an accessory. It's an important part of his character. There we go. Let's flip it back up here. There you can see him. So his tail is flexible, but it does not stay in place. So don't expect his tail to stay in place. It you know it is flexible. You can move it around, but it will just bounce right back to that position, to the original position. But I'm glad he at least has his flexible tail. Great face sculpt. He's got the different heads. He's got the different. He's got one different hand that you can use on him. He's got the fisted hand, so he's got the open hand, and then he's got another hand here. I'll take off this hand and put on this open hand. Well, it's actually, this is like a grabbing hand, I should say. And with that grabbing hand, he can grab his awesome sword. Kind of loose. It's actually very loose. I wish. Oh wow, that's the first time putting that on there. I wish that it was a tighter grip on his sword, but as you can see, it's kind of a little wiggly. But well, it's not bad. Yeah, it's great. And they made him perfect, just like he appears in the comic books, with his unique look. He was born this way. With the at first I used to think it was blue skin, but it's actually a fine blue fur that Nightcrawler has all over his body, including his face. And he appeared back in Giant Size X-Men #1, 1975. He's a German mutant who can teleport. His real name is Kurt Wagner, or as the Germans would pronounce it, Kurt Wagner. He's a devout Catholic Christian, and which he's not afraid to display his faith and praise for his fellow X-Men. And he's also an Excalibur, the British mutant superhero team led by Captain Britain. And so his powers include he's extremely flexible, agile, a gymnast. He was on a circus, raised in a circus in Germany. He has his prehensile tail, which he can even use to he can fence with that. He can do sword fighting with his tail. He's an expert fencer, hand-to-hand combatant, trained by Wolverine, and trained in the circus in Germany for acrobatics and gymnastics. He also has fang-like teeth, pointy ears, glow-in-the-dark yellow eyes, and 3 toes on each foot, as you can see. And instead of 5 fingers, including his opposable thumb, he has 3 fingers, including the opposable thumb. My only gripe is that, as you can see on the box, his fingers and toes are supposed to be longer than a normal human's. They did a good job with the toes with his feet. With the toes, they are longer, but his fingers on his hands are supposed to be longer than this. So he's supposed to have bigger hands and feet than a normal human being. And he can also scale walls with his hands and feet, much like Spider-Man. And also he is very, very, very flexible, and I like how they made him super flexible. He's got the points of articulation, as you can see. He's got the ball joint shoulder, which can go really far back. Well, not as far back as others, but there's other figures that I've seen up and down, all around. He has the I'm sorry, how do you say it? His head can turn sideways, down, and up. He's got the ab crunch here. Can go forward and far back too. And I'm going to remove the sword for now. Get that out of there. And see, you should be able to stand, especially with these with his unique 3-toed feet. Let's see if I can get him to stand. There we go. Let's get him in a good pose. There we go. So hopefully you can see him there standing. There he is. Yes. There he is. There you are, Nightcrawler. And then, oh, like I said, he has the alternate heads, which I'll show. There, it pops right off. That was the open mouth, but still fairly peaceful head. This is the closed mouth where you can't see his fangs, and he also has, I would call this like a dark Nightcrawler, almost like Dark Phoenix, because I've never seen him look so savage and mean. Nightcrawler is usually a very nice, peaceful character, you know, great warrior, but you know, you usually never see him like this. This would be, I would call it like the Berserker Rage, like Wolverine. And oh yeah, his points of articulation are great. He's got the, let's see if he's got the double elbow or not. Yes, he does have the double elbow. Joints. There we go. He can turn. He's got 2 points of articulation there. He can turn his waist. He's got the ab crunch. Wow, can really go deep down. And then he can go way back too. Limbo, doing the limbo. And his legs. He's got the great tail, of course. His legs they do have the double. There it is. The double joint for the knees. And his legs, I should say his ankles, do both the bend up and down, and they can do the roll, the ankle roll or twist, as I call it. And he does have he has the thigh. There, he does have the thigh swivel, of course. You know, basic articulation that most of the Marvel action figures have on the series Marvel Legends. And his hands, of course, they can move wherever you want them to, side to side, and then they also have this, where they have the wrist motion. Wrists can go either all the way around or they can go up and down. See, this hand also goes down, straight, and all the way up in great poses. And also wanted to show his Build-A-Figure. Show him one more time here. Oh. My bad. There we go. And so this Build-A-Figure part came from Guardian, from the Guardian action figure Wendigo, part of the 6-figure Build-A-Figure set to make Wendigo. And as I mentioned and showed you, he comes with Wendigo's arm. This is what looks like Wendigo's right. Depends which way you're looking at it. Would be actually his left. Yeah, that would actually be his left arm. Okay, and then that should just snap right into place. Okay, I'll give it a little hard push, not too hard, and there we go. Now Wendigo is on the way to becoming complete. He has his great articulation too. There we go on the wrists, the hands. Okay, and then this just pops right back. Oh no, my hand! Roar! Where's my hand? There we go. There we go. That's what I was trying to show here. The wrist articulation. There we go. Just can move all the way around and up and down. and then you just give it a hard push. There you go, make sure it stays in there. So there we have his torso, his lower body, his tail, which came connected to the torso, of course, and now we have his left arm. Alrighty. And I know this video is getting kind of long. Wanted to show Nightcrawler's size in comparison, to the other. He's basic 6-inch dimensions, 6 inches tall. And here we have Storm. There's Nightcrawler, and also Wolverine. This is one of my favorites in his classic brown and tan costume. His claws leave much to be desired, in my humble opinion. But, oh well, what can you do? I have another Wolverine action figure where he's wearing the also his classic yellow and blue costume, yellow, blue, and black costume, where the claws look a lot better than this. And here he's got his classic brown, dark brown, tan, and black costume. I like how they made him smaller, than he's only supposed to be 5'3" tall, and 300 pounds of pure muscle and adamantium-laced skeleton. And so it's kind of have to hunch him over to make him stand. And here we have Nightcrawler. Let's see if we could get all three of these guys to stand. Alrighty, there we go. And let's see if we can get Storm to stand. Wolverine Logan. Storm's real name is Aurora Monroe. Let's see. Oh, looks like I'll be able to get all three of these figures to stand, hopefully. I think I'm gonna have to. Usually Storm can stand, but it's kind of windy actually right now. I'm gonna do a little cheat and use Wendigo's body to hold Storm upright. Alright. There we go. And now let's go down a bit so y'all can see. There we go. There we have Storm, Nightcrawler, and Wolverine. And a hunched. Let's see if we can straighten them out. There we go. That's better. Yeah, it just takes practice. Let's see if maybe we can get Nightcrawler to stand more upright without having to hunch so much. Oh, there we go. His unique, big, wide, three-toed feet make him great for standing on his own. There we go. So these three characters are Wolverine and Logan. Wolverine, James Howlett Logan. James Logan Howlett, nickname Logan. He's always going to be Logan to me. He's Canadian. Has his adamantium claws, fast mutant healing factor, metahuman, durability and healing factor. Expert fighter, martial artist with 100 years of hand-to-hand combat. He's about 150 to 100 years old. He has his adamantium-laced claws, razor-sharp, indestructible adamantium claws, and unbreakable adamantium bones. And his superhuman senses, stamina, agility, and reflexes. A great tracker with his superhuman sense of smell, sight, and hearing, and touch. I have Nightcrawler, whom I already mentioned, in his powers. And here I have Storm, Aurora Monroe, control the weather. From Kenya, Africa. Her father was African American, Black American, and he married an African woman. And she was a fruit of that union, and she was worshipped in Africa, in southern Africa, as a goddess by the locals there. And then she spent her childhood between New York City, Cairo, Egypt, and Kenya, I believe, in the comic books. Great origin story. Alright, so that is all I have for now. Oh, I also wanted to show off one more great Spider-Man. He's the Ben Reilly Spider-Man, which I don't know a whole lot about that, to be honest with you. I'll just give you the information that's on here on the box. I believe he's a clone of Peter Parker. After years of self-imposed exile, Spider-Man is back, now calling himself Ben Reilly, and sporting a brand new costume and web shooters. The wall crawler returns to fight crime, and he comes with a lot of hands. See, so 1, 2, 3, 4, including the ones he has on him, 6 hands. So another 2 pairs. So another 2 pairs of hands for a total of 4 extra. These are two of my favorites. He's got his open hand. He's got the web shooter hand. You can shoot either with his hand pointing that way, so you can see better, or he can flip it, his hand that way. It is super flexible. I'll show you the other hands. I'm not gonna take the time to switch out every single pair of hands that he has, but he has a pair of fisted hands, and also a pair, and he has the open hand. There's the other open hand, and then there's the other web shooter hand, I should say. Let's see, let's do that better. There we go. Now you can get a good look at it. And the only thing that would have made this Marvel Comics Hasbro Spider-Man even better, in my humble opinion, would have been, it mentions the web shooters. That I think they look great on the outside. In his original costume, Spider-Man always had his web shooters hidden underneath the sleeves of his costume. I think that's great, and it looks cool how the gray highlights there. How you can see it, his web shooters. But I think it would have been great if it would have included, one web strand. So he's, so you can have him swinging, like he looks here in the illustration here. So you can have him swinging from, from some high place, the skyscrapers in New York City, shooting his webs at, as one of his foes, at the supervillains, or even, at other superheroes. Just that, I would change that, and add, even add an alternate head, an unmasked head. Spidey, our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Ben Reilly, now Miles Morales, has had, but especially Peter Parker has had several different costumes over the years. My favorites are the original, the black Venom symbiote costume, the classic black and white costume that was all the rage in the 80s. But this is actually also one of my favorites. Out of all of them, I like this one the best. I think his original costume, this costume, and the black and white symbiote costume. I like how his spider emblem logo is huge. It's really big on his chest and his back, and you can see how the legs of the spider wrap around his shoulders. I like I mentioned before, the color scheme, always the classic red and blue with the black highlights of his Spidey logo, his spider logo on his chest, and the webs. So I like how they did the boots differently. And you got, of course, the white eyes, trademark white eyes with the rimmed in black. And I like how they did the gloves too. They're different with they're not all the same color. He's got his fingers. He's got the thumb and 2 of the fingers with the red spiderweb design, and then the other 2 fingers on the top of the glove with just solid blue. Like I mentioned before, I like the the web shooters on the outside of his costume. Gives it nice touch. Although I was just thinking, like for practicality, if Spider-Man wearing this costume was in a real battle, it would be easy for his enemies to see. Oh, wow, there's his web shooters. Let's knock out his web shooters. Tear them off of the costume. Shoot at them with lasers or whatever. Even just grab them in hand-to-hand combat and rip off the web shooters, and then he wouldn't have his webs anymore. Though he had the element of surprise when they were hidden under his costume, but they do look great though for style's sake. And he is super flexible. His arms, wow, those shoulder sockets go all the way back. He can do this. He's got the ab crunch forward. You could pose him doing yoga poses, doing gymnastics, you name it. He goes all the way forward with the ab crunch. His arms go up and down all the way. These sockets, these shoulder sockets I noticed they're stiffer on one arm than the other. This one I think I just need to keep working it around. It's just kind of hard. There we go. You gotta give it a little extra push. There we go. Now it's going all the way up and down. I like that they're not too loose. Of course, he's got the wrist. He's got the waist. Well, so the waist here, the Spider-Man does not have the waist articulation where he is, but he has the upper chest, which he can turn on his upper chest, and he's got the lower ab crunch. So this makes him super flexible, and he can even go side to side. He can go forward and back. Let's see if he's got like the other characters, his hands can go all the way around. And they can stay straight. They can wrist bends up, also bends down. I love that they include that his most famous pose with the shooting the spider webs. You can do it either that way or this way. His head can turn all the way around. Side to side, down and up. So you can see that better. Look all the way down, look all the way up, side to side. And I think it would have been great if they would have included an unmasked alternate head for this Spider-Man, for this Ben Reilly Spider-Man. He's always gonna be Peter Parker to me. And yeah, I like how they did the boots with not the whole boot in red with the spider webbing design on it, but just half of it, the outside half. And then you have blue on the bottom. Very, very great, stylish, cool looking costume, I must say. Alright. And then of course he can do this, he can do the splits. And he can do his great crouching poses that he does. And wall crawling up there. This is a very famous pose for Spider-Man in the comic books and in the films. You'll have him hanging upside down by a web like this. And then, oh yes, I forgot to show Nightcrawler can also do that. Super flexible also. You can do the splits. And I've always liked both Spider-Man and Nightcrawler because they're very acrobatic and they're great at fighting, and they defeat their opponents with style and panache, and wittiness. Spider-Man's always doing his his Spidey jokes, which I always liked. They're clean jokes. They're kind of, I guess nowadays people would probably call them dad jokes, but I liked them. I always thought they were funny. So he not only thrashes his enemies and his adversaries, physically in combat, but he also gives them a good tongue thrashing, and usually mocks them and humiliates them with his jokes. And Nightcrawler, he's not as verbal as Spider-Man when he fights, but he's very polite, and he always he mixes English and German, and he will often call his opponents Herr, or his friends even too. They call them Herr, which Herr, which means Mister, in German. Like for example, you could be talking to, I don't know, let's say Sabretooth here. You say Guten Abend, Guten Abend, Herr Sabretooth, which means good evening, Mr. Sabretooth. And he would call his the ladies Frau, which means Mrs., or Fräulein, which means Miss. I speak some German, English, Spanish, French, and German. And he would say Frau Storm, Frau Aurora. Wie geht's? It's how are you? Or wie heißen Sie? What is your name? There you go. And this is one of my favorites too. Storm's got the great hair. She's got the cape. The cape got twisted up, so luckily you can take off the hands and the little gold wristbands, and I was able to straighten out the cape for her. She's got the X's on the front of her shoulder pads, black, yellow, and red. Color scheme looks great, and then she's got those beautiful lightning bolt earrings and the white eyes. So it contrasts great with their brown skin and the white hair. And I didn't show this guy. Another one of my favorites, Sabretooth. Which turned out to be Logan Wolverine's dad. And he's got the same powers as Logan, as Wolverine. Basically the fast healing factor. He's got the fangs and the claws on his hands and feet. He got the enhanced human strength, just like Wolverine, and stamina, agility, and reflexes. No adamantium lace skeleton, so he can be killed and he can be hurt. There we go. And he's one of my favorites too, because he's super posable and he's just a great villain. Just look at him. I mean, that's a face only a mother could love. There it goes, yeah. And we'll stand him up too. Let's see here. Let's stand you up. There we go. Stand him up too. There we go. There's Sabretooth. Great X-Men villain, member of the Marauders. Mr. Sinister's team of assassins called the Marauders. They were famous for the Mutant Massacre back in the 80s when they killed the Morlocks. And then lots of other great storylines in the Marvel Comics. Okay, that's all for now. I know this video got longer than I expected, but I wanted to show off how much I love my collection of I started out with the comic books, and watching the cartoons growing up as a child and a teenager, and then even as a young adult still, and then the movies. I think the films, the Fox Studios X-Men didn't do the X-Men justice. It was way too dark. Those films were way too dark. They didn't show the joyful, happy side of Nightcrawler and X2 in the second film in the franchise. I think that Alan Cumming, I think it was Alan Cumming or Alan Cummings, a British actor who played Nightcrawler in X2, did an awesome job, and it even showcased his Christian faith, Catholic Christian faith, and had him praying the Our Father in the Blackbird jet. And but I wish they would have shown Nightcrawler's playfulness and joy and just, he's a happy guy. Yeah, he's down to business, warrior, crime fighter, superhero, just like everyone else in the X-Men, but he's also very kind, loving, and has a good heart and a good sense of humor too, like Spider-Man. And you notice he's got this great costume, like a circus costume. In the X-Men film, they gave him facial tattoos, which I really didn't care for. I didn't like those. I wish they would have given all of the characters their original costumes, including the masks, like Wolverine. Especially, they should have used his brown and tan costume, brown, black, and tan costume. Or some variation of it. And then Storm too. Storm was one of the few that actually did look more like she did in the comic books in the in the Fox films, X-Men films. They because they did include her cape, and her costume has always been mostly black and gold color scheme. And she's really posable. She's got her hands. She can fly around. She's got the cool cape, you know. And next want to get Storm with the mohawk, like she looked in the '80s when she went through a radical change of mentality, of personality, and just kind of her outlook on life. And then she did a radical change of her hairstyle. She shaved her head and got the mohawk. And then she got kind of this, I call her punk rock Storm, kind of punk Storm, with the leather jacket and kind of look more like a kind of civilian costume, civilian outfit. She comes with this Storm and the one that I'm speaking of, the one with the mohawk. They both come with lightning effects for their both hands. I lost the lightning, the plastic lightning effects. They're flexible plastic, like rubber. You could stick them on her hands. Hopefully I can find those. I had to move, and so I misplaced a few things. Although I did do a great job of keeping all my action figures in their boxes and keeping their accessories. So that's it. Thanks if you stuck around this long for the video. God bless you. Thank you. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Angeles Santana, Ángeles Santana, Ángeles Gardo Santana, soy yo, para servirle a Dios y a ustedes. Please watch all my videos, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care and God bless you. I do all kinds of videos about all kinds of topics. Bartending, language learning, just my journey in life, my Catholic faith, just everything, and you all take care. It was great sharing, my love of the Marvel Universe, Marvel Comics with you, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll definitely have more videos like this, and some more topics. All kinds of topics. I'll keep you all on your toes, so you'll never get bored, and always have great new content for you. So you're still fairly new at this, but my career goal is to have my own media content company someday. Like Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Robert Rodriguez. Francois Truffaut of France, and Jean-Luc Godard, and these great cineasts, these great filmmakers, and create, and direct, produce, and write film and television content, movies and TV shows, and keep me in your prayers. And I'm working on that. I applied to a school in southwestern Florida called Ave Maria University, which is it wasn't the first school that I looked at. It was it's liberal arts school. It's Catholic Christian school, and I'm planning on majoring in mass communications, or just actually it's just in their group of majors they just call it communications, and but they do have a component with the technical side of the lighting, the editing, the camera, video camera shooting, everything. And as with like debate and rhetoric and theology and classical languages, which is other things that I'm really interested in too. As well as the videography. So I think I made a great choice. I already apply online. I have to transfer my credits from a couple other colleges that I attended, and my high school credits too, transfer. And wish me the best. God bless you. I'll take care, and I'll give you my blessing and God's blessing in the name of the Father and of the Son and the Holy Spirit. May Lord Jesus watch over you and bless you and prosper you in everything you do. God said in the Holy Bible, He said, "For I have plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you a hope and a future." And I pray that for myself and for all of you. Always, chase after your dreams, make them, turn them into goals and turn them into reality. And a great quote by St. Augustine, or Augustine, St. Augustine, however you choose to pronounce his name. He said, pray as if everything depended on God, and work as if everything depended on you. Now, everything does depend on God, but part of it does depend on us also, because we have to cooperate with God. So put your dreams and goals and aspirations at Jesus' feet, Father God's feet, and if it's for your betterment and for God's righteousness and His kingdom, then He will make that happen for you. But you gotta cooperate too. All right. God bless you. I'll take care and have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope everybody had a very happy, restful, and joyful, and active Labor Day too. And y'all take care. Yeah. This is Angel from Northwestern Florida, Boone County. Over and out. God bless. Love y'all. Que Dios los bendiga y cuídense mucho. Los amo. Y siempre buscar sus sueños, lograr sus sueños con la ayuda de Dios, con la ayuda y gracia de Dios. Y como dice el dicho, a Dios rogando y con el mazo dando, con el martillo dándole duro siempre. Okay. Y los que son perseverantes alcanzan sus metas y sus sueños y convierten esos sueños en realidad. Que Dios los bendiga. Hasta luego. Au revoir. Au revoir mes amis francophones. C'est ton ami, c'est votre ami Angèle. Et j'espère que vous aimez cette vidéo. Et à la prochaine. À bientôt. Que Dieu vous bénisse. Au revoir.